Good day, folks, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Gothic. Today, we're going to kill our first scavenger, the big bird that is here on the right-hand side, and then we'll take care of these mole rats. But for now, let's take care of that scavenger. Just keep on pushing forward. These scavengers aren't too hard if you really know what you're doing, but you need to keep pushing forward with your warrior, so to speak. Do not let your guard down, just keep on pushing forward, do not let them take one punch, or you might have a problem here. If you wonder what noise they... Whoa! What noise they make, we'll see later, because that one didn't really care about making them. Right. And always, always, always save, because that is one thing you should be wary about. Saving a lot, because you want to not get killed by like 2 enemies or so, because you're unaware of what's happening. Just want this one dude. Come on. And calling mole rat dude is probably the wrong thing to do, but you know, just the animal as it is. Right, gonna move back a little bit, so we only get this one pig, or mole rat, so to speak. Keep pushing forward, and kill him. That was, by the way, the first hit. He drew first blood! That's not going to be expected against this one, though. Whoa. There we go. And the good thing about this place is, well, not the club, but the potion, actually. Because with that potion, it's a health potion. Red ones are health potions, blue ones are mana potions. And there are also different potions later on in the game. Like yellow ones make you walk faster, or actually run like the wind. Or is that white? I can't remember. It's been a while since I played this. But there are potions which make you run like the wind. There are potions that increase your strength, your mana, and some such. And there are 3 different types of potions as well. I mean the really, well, not to call it bad ones, but the small ones, which refill 50 of your mana, life points, or whatever. And there are potions that refill 70, and there are potions who refill 100. And to get down here, actually, it's a little bit difficult, because you need to jump. You cannot walk down. It's not gonna happen. So you need to time your jumps, and you can jump with the right mouse button and forward, for example. And if you normally walk, then you can just press right mouse button to jump, which is fine. It's just the matter of fact that when you stand still, you need to press forward in which direction you want to jump. And that can be upsetting at times. So let's see what kind of noise that scavenger makes. Well, you can go back to middle school and say, actually not middle school, but preschool, like, what sound does a scavenger make? You make, that's for sure. Alright, raw meat. Meat is delicious, it is. Trust me. Not raw though, but once cooked, it's pretty good. Ooh, another club. Don't go into the club at night, it will hurt your head. And we've got a new weapon. An old sword. Equip it. 12 damage instead of 10. Now, before we fight the scavenger, yet again, saving up. And then we'll move forward. Now, our first point in this game is to... Ooh. Do not kill me, bird. There we go. Our first point in this adventure is to get to the old camp, actually. That is this camp that you see right ahead here. There's also some kind of ruin up there on the mountain, which we'll get much later too. But for the moment we try to actually survive out here. and to be able to, well, just level up. Also, orc leaves are the best healing items in the beginning of the game, so you should keep them close to your heart. Do not use them too much. You can use blueberries though, because they are pretty much the best healing item you will get in the beginning, and you have them quite a bit as well, so use them if you really need healing. Which is a good idea, actually. We are going to go left first. I don't want to talk to these guys just yet. What I want to do, however, is I want to eat something. To eat 2 blueberries, that should be fine for now. And I should be set to fight more monsters. So in theory, the most annoying enemies at the beginning are the scavengers, and then come the more rats. And I'm not going to talk even about other things yet. Oop. I believe that was a critical hit. Because that thing wouldn't die with 1 hit. Oh man, the guard at the bridge just killed my scavenger. Oh well, happens. At least it's dead now. It's in scavenger heaven. Is there something up here? I don't think there is. Just checking. No? No, there's nothing. There's a fireplace though. More scavengers on that little island there, but I'm not caring about that too much at the moment. What I want to care about, however, are these birds down here. I have to save before I'm tackling them, because I believe they're not juvenile scavengers, but real ones. And real ones have a huge amount of HP, and especially are very tough to deal with, because they deal quite a good amount of damage as well. Come on. And once it attacks, we're going to move backwards. Is it a normal one? Yeah, it's a normal one. Keep pressing forward. Ah, got it. They give a little bit more HP, but they drop 2 meat, which is very nice in the beginning to have more meat. Alright, that's the first scavenger done. And now for number 2. As you saw, they deal quite a bit of damage compared to the juvenile ones, so you should be very wary about what you do at this point of the game. And once we've dealt with this one, I'm going to introduce a new enemy. Not fighting it though, because it's very tough to deal with. Thank you, email, for disrupting my battle, but I did it nonetheless. You! Wonderful, no hit on that one. I'm loving it. Alright, so this on the horizon there are the so-called bloodflies, I assume they are called in English. As I said before, actually I mentioned in the comments below in the first video, I've only played the German version of Gothic until this point. So I have no idea what the enemies are like, called, or how the translation is, how the voices are. I actually have no idea. So I will be pleasantly surprised, probably, about this synchronization job they did. And we'll see about that. And I want to save before I'm going in here, because I have a slight feeling this these things might attack me.
I wouldn't like to. Don't listen to all.
Okay, I believe I don't have to do anything about this, but I'm...
Hey, you.
What?
What do you want?
I want to warn you.
You wanna
if you
warn
continue
you?
this way,
Ah,
you'll
this
be
is
entering
fun.
our hunting ground.
Alright, let me guess. What do you hunt? Scavengers, perhaps?
What do you hunt?
Mostly scavengers. There's a lot of meat on them. Besides, it ain't too hard to get them, once you know how.
Really? How's that?
Ask my friend Drax here. He knows more about these things than anyone.
Alright, I will do that then. But what is so dangerous
Why
here?
is this area so dangerous?
You've just arrived, haven't you?
Yeah.
There are different areas in this colony which are all more or less dangerous.
Dangerous.
The paths
He
between the
stresses
camps
that
are
out quite a
safe,
bit, actually.
But even there, you might come across some wolves which look on you as easy prey. And that's exactly what you are until you get a proper weapon and armor.
Well, good to know. So where can I get better equipment, huh?
Where can I get better equipment?
The nearest place is that old camp. Just follow the path that brought you here. But you can get the stuff cheaper in our new camp, provided you know the right people. If you go to the old camp, ask for Mordrag. He's one of us. For just a little ore, he'll sell you the proper goods.
Yeah, Mortrek is a pretty good merchant. You can get quite a few things from him if you really want to. But I just want
Tell me
to
more about the areas of
get
colony.
to know this area a
If
little
you
bit.
travel between the camps, you'll need a map to distinguish paths and dead
Maybe,
ends.
yes.
Dead ends often lead you to dangerous canyons where you encounter creatures you'd better avoid.
At the beginning, at
Do not
least.
enter the old ruins. There are too many around here, and most of them are old fortifications dating back to the time of the First Orc War. Some are abandoned orc dwellings. There are often orcs in those ruins, or even worse creatures. I'd avoid those places, especially at night. And
All right.
one more hint. Don't go into the forest.
Well, gee, where do I get a
Where
map
do I
then?
get a map?
Ask the people in the old camp. There's a cartographer living there. Maybe you can steal one of his maps. If you manage to do it, take one from me as well.
Well, why? Doesn't he sell the maps?
Why? Doesn't he sell the maps?
If you get enough ore to pay for them.
Alright, so, thanks
Thanks
for
for your help.
Don't go thinking everyone's gonna be so friendly, kid. There may not be much in a newcomer's pockets, but some folks would even beat you up for a pickaxe.
I'll
Good
keep it
thing
in
I don't
mind.
have a pickaxe on me right now. At least not equipped, so no one knows that. So he doesn't know anything about hunting, it seems, although he's carrying a bow and hunting scavengers. But his friend here seems to be the one who cares. So what about
You're
you?
hunting, aren't you?
Looks like it. What do you want?
Do you have some hints
Advice?
for the hunt?
Thank you.
I could teach you a few things, but everything has its price.
Which would be how much?
A good gulp of beer will do to start with. Then we'll see.
Alright, here you are with
Here
your
you are.
beer.
Take a beer and tell me about hunting.
Scavengers. That's what we call the big birds. Should be attacked one after the other. It's easy to lure single scavengers from the pack.
Yep.
If you come too close, they'll become irritated. After a while, they'll storm in your direction. At this point, you should be waiting for them with a raised weapon. If you manage to strike the beast before it hits you, you have to keep fighting. Then you'll be able to defeat the creature without being hurt yourself. If it hits you first, well, just don't let him.
I can imagine this guy selling goods on the black market, actually. With this voice, you're pretty much well set up for that. But what else can
What
you
else
tell me
can you
about
tell
that?
me about hunting?
A lot, but it'll cost you more than a beer. If you know how, you can take the creature's teeth, claws, and skin. It's hard to get them, but they are valuable. At least every merchant will trade those things with you.
And that is true. So you could potentially learn skin reptiles, remove claws, remove fur, or remove teeth. And it each will cost you 1 skill point and 50 or 100 ore. So yeah, that's a bit pricey at this point.
You're demanding a lot for your advice.
Possibly, but you can earn a lot of ore with this knowledge.
Yep, that is
All the
actually true.
animals you kill
Quite a bit,
without
actually.
knowing how to cut them up will just rot away. That's a wasted opportunity of skinning them and selling the fur at a high price. If I were you, I'd try to gain this knowledge as soon as possible.
Alright, thank you then. Alright, so since we are already on the topic of skill points, let me show you the actual skill tree. Oh, there we go. Actually, I'm going to kill a few more things before we're going to do that, because you will see then a little bit better what I mean about that. So let's see, maybe we can find something in here. Oh yeah, there's a mole rat. But let's have a save before we do this. Also, if you see any orcs around here somewhere, run away. One hit dead is mostly the best you can get out of it. Less fortunate people just... Oh, he's like far away. The less fortunate people just, well, they never surface again. Let's say it like that. Oh, hell mushrooms! Wonderful. These are actually quite well as well. They're okay actually. They can be used to, well, fill up your health as well, but they're pretty often in the surrounding area. So, hi, I'm new here.
Hi.
Perfect
I'm new
lineup
here.
to pick up.
How nice for you.
Yep, exactly.
Is that the old camp over there?
No, that's the new camp. The old camp is underneath the bridge.
Oh, really? Okay, well, thank you. That makes it a lot easier. Okay, there is actually nothing here. Well, gee, thanks for being so friendly and such a douche. Alright. Nothing to worry about, though. Of course there was only a joke. I know exactly where the old camp is. It's in there. But at the moment, I want to take care of the mole rats and the scavenger over there. And then I'll be happy. And there's another beer, by the way. Always good to pick them up. These hell mushrooms restore 6 points. It's not a lot, but it's okay for the beginning. Oop. Should definitely pick them up at any rate. Before we take care of the mole rats, let's take care of the scavenger first. Yeah! Level up! Yoo-hoo! Wonderful. So let's get out of this critical, dangerous area and get over here before we do anything. And that seems to be a bug again. There we go. Sometimes bugs can be prevented by just pressing the red mouse button once you're standing still, and then you are well said and done. Now, let me explain the skill system quickly before we end this episode. Once you level up, you will gain skill points. 10 points per level. You will then be able to distribute these 10 skill points into the following things. You can use them to increase strength or dexterity. That's for your attributes to be able to use them in. The other things are one-handed swords, two-handed swords, bows, crossbows, open locks, pickpocketing, sneaking, and acrobatics. Basically, what you want to do at the beginning is train, if you want to use one-handed swords, then you should train strength and one-handed swords. If you want to go later, in the later stages of the game, you will probably need two-handed swords, but at the beginning, a normal skill of one-handed sword is probably a good idea. There are different skill stages in these one-handed and two-handed swords and bows and crossbows as well. At 30% of gaining skills, you will have the opportunity to wield the sword, the one-handed sword especially, with one hand. Well, G, of course. And then you will also gain the ability to attack much faster with it without actually having a split second before you can do another attack. So it's much easier to kill enemies once you skill up. So you will then be trained. And once you hit 70% in total, you will have the opportunity to even attack much faster, but also do some special attacks. Like, I don't know, one-handed sword, for example, you might make a 360 attack, for example, in front of you. Something like that. So you have the different possibilities of increasing that, and especially using special attacks to defeat foes or groups of foes. Bows and crossbows, on the other hand, they normally just be held differently. So at the beginning, I think you will hold the bow straight up, like vertical or a little bit tilted. Once you rank up, you will hold the bow horizontal and shoot a little bit faster. So there's a different possibility to actually use these weapons. Open locks and pickpocketing do not actually have a skill system, so to speak, because you can only take them once. But once you have, you only have, I believe, a 30% chance of actually, like, failing. So open locks is something I will show you later on in the game, because I need to have that skill set up before I can actually open the box or anything, because that will otherwise consume way too many lockpicks. Because every time you turn the lockpick into the wrong direction, it has a chance of failure. And the chance of failure might mean the lockpick breaking. So you will lose it completely, forever. It won't be replaced, it's gone forever. Pickpocketing you can do while you're sneaking, so you need to learn that before that. So you need to activate sneak mode, then get to some guy, press left mouse button forward, and you can steal from him. That's a possibility. Acrobatics, on the other hand, is a way to get around much faster by jumping, which I'm not sure if that's really the actual usage of it, or should be, but I use it that way. And it's protecting you against high damage from falling as well. So that can be quite, well, supporting for your cause. On the lower left hand, you can see there are protection tabs for weapons, arrows, fire, and magic. You will gain these automatically by equipping armor. Most of the time you will gain a lot of protection against weapons and arrows, but you will have the opportunity to equip robes or something like that later on, which protect you against fire and magic as well. So that's the point with that. Every level up you will gain 12 hit points. No matter what you do, you will gain 12 hit points per level. And that's actually a good number, I think, from personal experience. Each of these skills that you can improve, like strength, dexterity, I think also mana as well later on, one-handed weapons, two-handed weapons, bows and crossbows, will need 1 skill point for each percentage or each point added in Gothic 1. Thieving skills, like open locks and pickpocketing, will consume, I believe, 10 points. As I said, it's only trained once, so you only need to invest these 10 initial points. And special skills, I believe, are 5, but it's quite a while since I played this, so it might be 10. But it's definitely a round-up value, so you should definitely take these skills as soon as you can. Especially open locks and one-handed weapons are something I will look into at the beginning of the game, as well as strength, of course. Dexterity is for bows, so when you want to use bows, you should definitely try and learn dexterity, so you can actually deal more damage with your bow. Right, let's fill up. Also, you can regain health by sleeping, but you can only sleep in bed, so we don't have the ability to do that just yet. So, oh no, not 114, not that far yet. That would be like, I don't know, 6 hours in or something. Maybe. So, when we come back, folks, I'm going to kill these last 2 Murats off, and then I'm going to take our first look inside the old camp. So, I will see you then.